What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Welcome you today to another mock draft reaction video, and today we are reacting to Jonathan Wasserman's Bleacher Report 2021 mock draft once the lottery has finished. So you guys have already seen my mock draft over on the main channel. If you haven't seen that, go take a look at that. I did upload that. I believe you guys will be seeing this on the 24th. I am going away from the 25th to the 29th, or excuse me, the 24th to the 29th. So there'll be kind of some videos that I'm pre-recording, so in case anything happens crazy, like some team trades their pick, don't look at me. Don't look at me. So yeah, we can just get right into this reaction. Like always, I will leave a link to the article down below. We'll see if we agree or disagree with anything he says. So Detroit taking Cade Cunningham at number 1. I agree. I think we can all agree that Cade Cunningham will be the number 1 overall pick, joining the Detroit Pistons franchise. There's really no argument, no discussion for any other player. I mean, if they had like a set backcourt, like say this was I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a good example out there. Like, I would say this was like John Wall and Bradley Beal from a few years ago, but you could also roll Cade Cunningham kind of as the 3. I'm trying to think, like right now, you're looking at like one of the best young backcourts that you wouldn't take Cade Cunningham still. I don't know, I'm going through teams in my head. Even if I'm the Suns, I'm taking Cade Cunningham. I don't know. I think no matter who you are, you're taking Cade Cunningham with this pick. Even if you're the Brooklyn Nets, you're taking Cade Cunningham. Yeah, so no doubt about it, he's the number 1 overall pick. I don't think there should be any Evan Mobley or Jalen Green buzz there. Now, is he going to have Evan Mobley too? He does. Okay, I agree. I think another mock draft has Jalen Green in front of Evan Mobley. I think we're going to react to that mock draft eventually. But yeah, he's got Evan Mobley. I agree. I think you pair up Evan Mobley with Christian Wood in the front court. The only other player that you consider here is Jalen Green, and maybe he wows you in your workouts, and hey, then you go Jalen Green. But I think right now, the consensus number 2 pick should be Evan Mobley. I'd lock it in right now that he'll be number 2. And next up, we have the Cavs taking Suggs. I disagree. I do not think the Cavs should go Suggs. I think if you're drafting Suggs, you're pushing Garland out, and Suggs is definitely a better prospect than Garland was, but I think Garland had a very good sophomore year, and then you're crowding your backcourt. Now, I mean, roster juggling after drafting Jalen Suggs, considering they already have a pair of ball handlers in Sexland, but Cleveland can't afford to pass on Suggs' superior passing defense and intangibles. Honestly, maybe if you're moving Sexton, maybe, but I think if you're moving Sexton, you got to go Jalen Green. You pick up the backcourt of Garland and Sexton, and then Kobe Altman, Garland and Green, excuse me. Then you call up Philly, give them Colin Sexton for Ben Simmons. I'm just saying. Complete that starting 5 of Garland, Green, Okoro, Simmons, and Allen. Okoro, Simmons, and Allen defensively. Oh, baby. That's really good. I mean, there's actually not a lot of floor spacing out there. I mean, Garland can shoot the 3. Green can shoot the 3. Okoro shot, what, 29% as a rookie? We know that Simmons and Allen can't. So maybe it wouldn't work. Maybe I'm dumb and I just want to see a good defensive lineup. But I disagree here. I think it should be Jalen Green, not Jalen Suggs. The other Jalen here at pick 3, which means he'll have Jalen Green going to the Raptors. I think I like this for the Raptors a lot of Jalen Green. Oh my god, he's born in 2002. Oh my god, I'm old. I'm born in 99, and I feel old, man. I feel old. Like, I'm pretty sure Trae Young, I think Zion's younger than me. Or no, Zion's like a week younger than me. Oh my god, I'm so old. I'm so old. But, yeah, so Jalen Green to the Raptors, I mean, he's my number 3 player in this class. I think he's closer to taking number 2 from Mobley than he is to falling number 4 to Suggs, in my opinion. So I'm a big Jalen Green guy. I like his scoring a lot, and I think he'll be able to make up his own on the defensive side of the ball, and he won't be a liability there. So I'm a big Jalen Green guy. I got him as my 3rd best player in the class. I think that would be a great pick for the Raptors. And then he'll have Kuminga at 5, right? Okay, good. So Kuminga at 5. I think that's pretty consensus right now. Unless you're Jay Billis, you'd have Davion Mitchell going 5 to the Magic, which I disagree with because they don't need Davion Mitchell at all, Orlando. So I agree with Kuminga. Let's move on to 6, where he's got Scottie Barnes. Hey, if you watched my mock draft, I also had Scottie Barnes with the 6th overall pick. That's where all these mock drafts will probably have somebody different at 6. Are they going to have Barnes? Are they going to have Jalen Johnson, Davion Mitchell, Keon Johnson? I think that's about it. Those 4 guys. I don't think Moses Moody, Franz Wagner, those guys will be jumping up to 6, or Corey Kispert, none of those guys. But yeah, I think it's going to be between Scottie Barnes, Jalen Johnson, Keon Johnson, and Davion Mitchell. For where the Thunder are in their timeline, I don't think they're going to take Davion Mitchell, so I think it's Barnes or one of the Johnsons, Keon or Jalen. I agree with Barnes, though. I like that pick a lot for them. Number 7, we have the Warriors taking Franz Wagner. Honestly, I don't like that fit for them. I don't. I mean, like, he could catch and shoot. He's a good shooter for what his size is. He's a good playmaker. He's got high basketball IQ, and he's a good ball handler for his size as well. But the Warriors need defense, especially in that second unit. Go out, get Davion Mitchell. Yeah, you could use his scoring off the bench, but hey, address that with 14. Address that with a shooter like Cam Thomas, like Davion Mitchell, or excuse me, Cam Thomas, James Bouknight, Corey Kispert, Moses Moody. Unless you want to go Franz Wagner here at 7, and then look at Jared Butler at 14 to provide you some defensive ability there at the guard position. Maybe you do that. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Franz Wagner going to the Warriors at 7. I like a couple other options. I even like Jalen Johnson if you're going to go wing. If you're going to go like a scoring wing, I like Jalen Johnson more. But I think Davion Mitchell's the perfect guy for the Warriors there at 7. 8, we have the Orlando Magic taking Davion Mitchell. I hate it. 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 Why? They already, he's an NBA ready now player. You can kind of compare him to Matisse Thybulle a little bit. And I don't, the Orlando Magic could use of Matisse Thybulle, but when you have Markelle Fultz, who you just signed to an extension, who you have Cole Anthony, who you took with the 15th overall pick last year, who you have RJ Hampton, who was the premier asset you got back for Aaron Gordon, you don't need another point guard. We'll see if Mitchell, who was a good shooter in his junior year at Baylor, would be able to be a spot-up shooter for those guards. I don't think I would bank on that. He's a little bit older. I think he fits a lot better on a team trying to win next year, like the Kings, like the Warriors, like the maybe Houston Rockets, but they're obviously not in this case. I'm just not a huge fan of Davion Mitchell going to the Magic. I actually hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Even if he's the next Patrick Beverley, I hate it. I just don't like the fit there. I mean, obviously, if he's the next Patrick Beverley, you're taking that. I'm just not a fan of Davion Mitchell on this Magic team, the way their roster is constructed. Next up at 9, we have the Sacramento Kings selecting Jalen Johnson out of Duke. I love that. Oh my God, if they get Jalen Johnson at 9, that is who I had them taking in my mock. I had the Magic going Keon Johnson here, but the Kings going Jalen Johnson. I love it. I love it. That's the pick I really want to see the Kings take, and then you can have kind of your future 1, 2, 3. Fox, Halliburton, Jalen Johnson. We'll see if Marvin Bagley kind of has a good 4th year, and then he could slide in as the 4 or the 5, and you kind of have your young core in Sacramento that you can kind of build around. And then you look to see what you want to do with Holmes and Barnes and Hield. So I like Jalen Johnson a lot. He could play the 3 or the 4. So I'm a big fan of that for Sacramento. 10, the Pelicans getting Keon Johnson. I can get behind that. I mean, we have them mocking shooting, like Corey Kispert. But Keon Johnson provides them some good 3 and D. I think I like him better as a prospect than Nickeil Alexander-Walker was out of Virginia Tech. I think he's got way better defensive potential. Why did I try to say material? He's a good he can cut to the rim. He's, I guess, a good slasher, as you can see, or he's a good slasher, and I think this would be a great pick for the Pelicans. I would just be shocked if he falls to 10. I really think the Magic should take him at 8, and yeah, that's what I kind of disagree with right there so far, but that's a great pick for the Pelicans if he falls to 10. 11 through 20. 11, we got Moses. Okay, I want to, give some suspense, but you can see that 11 is going to be Moses Moody to Charlotte. Big fan of that. I think getting Moses Moody, I mainly have them getting Franz Wagner, but I'm fine with Moody taking him there at 11. Spurs getting Josh Giddey. I mean, Giddey is a Spurs player because, a foreign guard, because they've been drafting a lot of those guys over the last 15 years. But with DeJounte Murray, with Derek White, with Lonnie Walker, is it really worth it? I don't know. I don't think so. I would go for more of a wing. I mean, I don't really think they could take a big player here. I don't think they would really look at Isaiah Jackson, who you could see on the screen. Maybe, though, with DeMar DeRozan leaving, that'll be Keldon Johnson's role next year. And we'll see what happens. And then you could see James Bouknight to the Pacers at 13. With Corey Kispert on the board, I think I'd rather go Kispert. But I guess they kind of have their Kispert and Doug McDermott. I like Josh Giddey going to the Pacers a lot. And then you can kind of see the rest of these picks. Oh, it's a full first-round mock. Huh. I thought it was just a lottery. So you can see that the Warriors get Kispert. I love that. If you're going to get Wagner, no, get Davion Mitchell at 7 and then Kispert at 14. Get the best defender and the best shooter in this class. Yes, do that. Next up, you have Isaiah Jackson to the Wizards at 15. With Alperen Sengun there, I'd rather go him over Isaiah Jackson just for where the Wizards are still trying to win now. I mean, they're both kind of project players. For crying out loud, Sengun was born in 2002. You have Kai Jones to the Thunder at 16. With Sengun on the board and where the Thunder are at in their timeline, where they can develop another big, I'd go Sengun there. Grizzlies getting Trey Mann at 17. We'll see if he's like that first point guard off the board after Jalen Suggs. You got Trey Mann, you got Sharif Cooper, you got Jared Butler, you got Ayo Dosunmu, he might fall a little bit. Who's going to be the first point guard off the board? I guess between Mann, Cooper, and Butler. Next up, you have the Thunder getting Alperen Sengun anyway. Okay, I'm a fan of that. Knicks getting Chris Duarte. Like that a lot. I think the Knicks should target some shooting there with their first round pick. Either it's Chris Duarte, either it's Cam Thomas, and then in this case, I guess, like Kispert's off the board. Next up, you have the Hawks taking Jared Butler. Love that. I mocked that as well because they traded Rondo. Chris Dunn didn't work out. Will might not come back. Boom, you get that backup point guard. Good on the defensive end for Trae Young, who can kind of put out there with Trae Young sometimes. Next up at 21 through 30, you can just see that the Knicks get Usman Garuba. I guess. I mean, if Mitch is the answer, I mean, you have your power forwards in Randall and Toppin, but Mitch, Noel's a free agent. Okay, maybe. Cam Thomas of the Lakers at 22, get some shooting. Fan of that. Rockets getting Sharif Cooper. Love that if you remember the Rockets franchise got him there. And Rockets getting Zaire Williams. I love those too. I love those two picks for them, getting those freshmen. Clippers getting Jaden Springer. I guess he's also in that point guard scenario who goes. Ayo Dosunmu going in the first round to the Nuggets. I mean, I kind of like Aaron Henry there. I do. I like Joshua Primo there as well out of Alabama. Miles McBride to the Nets at 27. Yeah, I can be behind that. I think I like Ayo Dosunmu better, but he already went because they're good, I guess, trying to fill that Spencer Dinwiddie hole because they can't keep running like Chioza and Mike James next year if Dinwiddie leaves. Miles McBride, we talked about Josh Christopher to the Sixers at 28. Not a huge fan of that. If Aaron Henry's on the board, I would much rather go Aaron Henry, an experienced player, to a team trying to win now. JT Thor going to the Suns at 29. I don't think JT Thor is a first-round pick. I like Daron Sharp. I like Charles Bassey over JT Thor. And Aaron Henry to the Jazz at 30. I love that pick if he were to fall there. Oh, there's a second round. Look at that. I really thought we were just getting a lottery. So, Daron Sharp, Bassey go to the first two picks in the second round. That's great value. Thunder getting Joshua Primo at 35. Huge fan there. I like J.R.E. to the Bulls at 38 with their only pick in this draft. I believe unless they have multiple seconds. And then 41 to 50, I mean, Brandon Boston. Low risk, potential high reward prospect to take in the second round. Max Amos going in the second round at 43. I think he can go a little bit higher. I would even lump him into the Jaden Springer, Ayo Dosunmu, Trey Mann, who's the other one? Sharif Cooper, and then Jared Butler kind of point guards, but he's probably at the bottom. Terrence Shannon to the Celtics at 45. I like Isaiah Todd at 46. Wow, no Deshi next there in the top 50. Johnny Juzang at 49. It's a great pick by the Nets. And then, are we going to see Dashi Nix? Yeah, there he is at 51. Love that by the Grizzlies. And then, I am a fan of Quentin Grimes to the Nets. Wow, he's got a nice draft for the Nets here. Either Matthew Hurts or the Pelicans there at 53. Luke Garza there at 52. I wonder it'll be interesting to see if he gets drafted. But yeah, that's going to be for me. Hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a like if you did. Let me know what you agree with or disagree with down below. Going to have a lot of mock draft content out on the channel as we go along throughout the draft process, which is in just a little bit over a month. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.